Stephen A. Smith questioned whether the Warriors still have what it takes. But Draymond Green and Steph Curry are back with a mission to silence all doubt. Draymond, a successful black man who has defied every obstacle, and Steph, the heart of the Warriors, refuse to let their legacy fade. This season is about proving that the Warriors' dominance isn't over, and they're prepared to reignite their fire and reclaim their throne.
The Warriors held their media day yesterday, and Draymond Green was back in the headlines. Draymond coming off a drama-filled season in which he was suspended twice. Now, despite this, he didn't shy away from this back and forth with a reporter. Take a listen.
You know people worry about you. Fans, maybe your teammates.
Why they worry about me? I am a successful black man in America doing incredibly well. What's the worry
They
about
worry
me?
about you.
There are way more people in this world to worry about than me, that's for sure.
But we're here now. So
we're all here. I don't think you should worry about me.
Okay.
I'm doing pretty well. If you would have told me when I was 13 years old in Saginaw, Michigan, without a pot to piss in, that you'd be sitting here and somebody would say they're worried about you, I would have probably told them they were out of their mind. I'd be sitting here and they'd be worried about me.
Well, they're worried from themselves too. They want to know.
They don't feed.
They know the team needs you.
So why are they worried?
Because they know the team needs you.
But they don't feed
and
them.
They don't know if you're going to be here.
Doing this. I'm here. I've been here for 13 years now.
If you're going to be here every night.
Been here pretty much every night for 13 years.
What I'd love to know is who they is. Stephen A., what did you think of this exchange?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I was very uncomfortable with the question. I'm guessing, I did not see the reporter, didn't know his name, but I'm guessing it was a white man asking him that question. And I think that one of the things that rubs a lot of black people, particularly black men, the wrong way is when you come to them and you try to imply a problem is bigger than what it is, because they tend to get emotional. Like, for example, Molly, I'm screaming A, so I must be angry, but white folks get loud and all of that stuff, and they're passionate and they're energized. These are the kind of things that come along with us being black men. And I think that when you listen to Draymond Green, that's basically what he was saying to some degree. What are you talking about being worried about me? He's not breaking any laws. He's not in the streets running around. He's not conducting himself like an uncivilized human being or anything like that. Does he need to control himself when it comes to those suspensions? Sure, absolutely, because he's going to be a target for the referees, because he's got to learn how to cool it down. That's fine. They were 11 games above 500 when he was on the court. They were 1 game below 500 when he was off the court. So that amounted to like a 12-game difference. I understand that. Well, you can legitimately argue that had he not gotten suspended, the Golden State Warriors would have been in the playoffs. But still in all, you got to be very, very careful when it comes to the verbiage that you approach a proud black man with, considering with the challenges everybody faces in our society, but particularly black men. This is why when Kevin Durant came out and said what he said about Draymond Green, when he said, I hope he gets the help that he needs and stuff like that, I went ballistic about that, because I was like, you don't bring that kind of attention to Draymond Green or anybody else, for that matter, unless you're sure about that. You don't make that kind of implication. And you're on the court, you're competing at a high level. People rely on your passion and your fire. You're the Golden State Warriors. You want him to remain under control enough not to get suspended, but you want that energy, that fervor, that passion, because it galvanizes the Golden State Warriors, and the proof is in the pudding, because they won 4 championships over 8 years and went to the finals 6 times. And so because of it, evidently it worked for them to some degree. You can't turn around and then look at him and say, well, people are worried about you. What the hell does that mean? What are you trying to imply? Worried about what? Because it took on a greater connotation rather than just basketball. And that's what Draymond was saying, and I stand totally by him in that regard. I think it was wrong to phrase the question that way.
And I also feel like, Stephen A., it's the worst day you could ask it. Media day, the beginning of a brand new season. It's like, if you wanted to ask that in the midst of everything happening, but you're trying to start a new year fresh, I just feel like timing is also off.
I won't go that far. What I mean, how you phrase the question matters. But if he had asked the question, well, Draymond, you were suspended twice last year. You realize those 2 suspensions arguably cost the Golden State Warriors a playoff berth. What have you learned from that? What should we expect to see from you differently this year than we saw last year, so that doesn't happen? That's a fair question.
Yeah, but it wasn't phrased that way.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's my whole point. The way the question was phrased, took on an entirely different connotation that I dare say was far more offensive.
Their fight to restore the Warriors' championship legacy begins now with Draymond's fire and Steph's leadership leading the charge. Stephen A. once remarked that Draymond Green's intensity could sometimes overshadow his talent, but it's that very intensity that has defined his career. Draymond Green's career is a testament to overcoming adversity. Growing up in Saginaw, Michigan, nothing was handed to him. A second-round pick, many believed he'd be a role player at best, but Draymond proved them wrong. He didn't just make it to the NBA, he became an essential part of one of the greatest dynasties in basketball history. So this season, Draymond enters with the same fire he had as a rookie, but now with the experience of a seasoned veteran. His words during Media Day resonated deeply. "I am a successful black man in America doing incredibly well. What's the worry about?" Draymond's journey is more than basketball. It's about defying the expectations placed on him by society. So he's proven that success comes from hard work, resilience, and the refusal to be boxed in by others' doubts. Throughout his 13-year career, Draymond has averaged 8.6 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. He's not just a role player, he's the glue that holds the Warriors together. In the 2002-3-2-4 season, his impact was undeniable. When Draymond played, the Warriors' defense ranked among the top 5 in the league. His per-36 numbers show his capability of flirting with triple-doubles, emphasizing his value beyond traditional stats. Draymond's influence stretches far beyond the numbers. He's the emotional leader of the Warriors, the heartbeat that pushes the team forward when the chips are down. Whether he's delivering a clutch defensive stop or a perfectly timed assist, his presence on the court is invaluable. His ability to switch on defense, guard multiple positions, and initiate fast breaks after grabbing defensive boards makes him a rare breed in NBA, an elite playmaker from the power forward position. This season, he's expected to take on an even greater role as the Warriors lean on his versatility and leadership. Draymond's journey is one of resilience, but he's not alone. Standing by his side is the Warriors' captain and leader, Steph Curry. Stephen A. has always sung the praises of Steph Curry's leadership, recognizing his impact beyond just shooting. Steph Curry is more than just a player, he's a basketball icon. As the face of the Golden State Warriors, Steph has redefined the game with his shooting and leadership. In 2024, at 36 years old, he's as dangerous as ever. Steph knows what it takes to lead a team to victory, and after an offseason of change, his leadership is more crucial than ever. Last season, Steph averaged 29.3 points, 6.3 assists, and 6.1 rebounds, proving that he hasn't lost a step. But numbers alone don't capture his impact. His influence stretches beyond the stat sheet. He's the spark that ignites the Warriors' offense and the steady hand guiding them through adversity. Steph's leadership has become even more essential after Klay Thompson's departure. With a younger supporting cast, Steph's role is no longer just as a scorer but as a mentor. What his ability to break down defenses with his off-the-ball movement, tireless work ethic, and pinpoint shooting opens up the floor for his teammates. In high-pressure moments, when the Warriors need a bucket, Steph remains the first option. Even at 36, Steph is redefining what it means to be an elite guard in the NBA, showing that age is merely a number. So moreover, Steph's leadership off the court is just as important as his presence on it. He sets the standard in practice, always the first and the last out. His attention to detail, from his shooting form to his defensive positioning, serves as an example for the younger players on the roster. For them, it's clear if Steph Curry is still giving 110%, then so should they. Steph's true shooting percentage last season stood at 64.5%, among the best in the league. And in clutch moments, those final minutes of close games, Steph was nearly unstoppable, shooting over 50% from beyond the arc in such situations. His leadership on the court translated directly to victories, with the Warriors winning 70% of games when Steph scored 30 or more points. Draymond's passion and Steph's leadership are the core of this team, but they cannot do it alone. The Warriors' future hinges on building a new identity, combining veteran experience with young talent. Stephen A. once questioned if the Warriors' championship window had closed, but Draymond and Steph are determined to prove otherwise. For Draymond, Green, and Steph Curry, the 2024 season is more than just another year. It's a chance to reignite the fire that once made the Golden State Warriors the most feared team in the NBA. After losing Klay Thompson and undergoing significant changes, this team is looking to rebuild and refocus. But with Draymond and Steph leading the way, there's a belief that they can return to their winning ways. This season, the Warriors are building something new, something that blends the wisdom of their veteran stars with the energy and drive of a younger core. Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, and the emerging talent of Trayce Jackson-Davis will all play key roles in this transformation. The 2024 season is about more than just winning games. It's about reestablishing the Warriors as championship contenders. With Steph scoring in Draymond's defense, the team's core remains solid, but it's the younger players who will determine how far the Warriors go this season. Kuminga, who averaged 16.1 points per game last season, is expected to take a leap forward, becoming a reliable scoring option alongside Steph. So Wiggins, despite a dip in production last season, has the potential to regain his form as an elite two-way player. Add to that the promising development of Trayce Jackson-Davis, and the Warriors have the pieces to make a deep playoff run. The Warriors were a top 5 team in defensive efficiency last season when Draymond was on the court. Meanwhile, Steph's offensive rating was among the top 3 in the league, underscoring the importance of having both stars healthy and available. With young players like Kuminga and Jackson-Davis contributing, the Warriors' win percentage could improve dramatically, pushing them into playoff contention. The road to redemption won't be easy, but with Draymond's fire and Steph's leadership, the Warriors are ready to prove their doubters wrong once again. So Stephen A. may have doubts, but Draymond Green and Steph Curry aren't just fighting for another title, they're fighting to prove that the Warriors dynasty isn't over. For Draymond, it's personal. Every game is another chance to defy the expectations placed on him as both an athlete and a black man in America. For Steph, it's about leadership, showing his team that no matter the obstacles, they can rise again. The media, including Stephen A., may have written off the Warriors, but inside the locker room, there's a quiet confidence. Draymond and Steph believe they have what it takes to bring the Warriors back to championship contention. So this season, more than any other, is about proving that the Warriors can rise from the ashes. They've lost key pieces, but they've gained something invaluable: experience and the hunger to prove the world wrong once again. Draymond has made it clear that he's not worried about himself. He's worried about the team, the culture, and the legacy they've built over the last decade. His passion on the court is matched only by his leadership off it, and as he takes on a bigger role mentoring the younger players, his influence grows even stronger. The Warriors' future doesn't just depend on winning games, it depends on the foundation Draymond and Steph are laying for the next generation of Warriors basketball. With the Warriors currently projected to finish around the middle of the Western Conference, many analysts have questioned their ability to make a deep playoff run. But when Draymond and Steph are both on the floor, the Warriors' winning percentage skyrockets to over 65%. Their on-court chemistry and leadership have led to one of the best win-loss records among active player duos in the league. With Draymond and Steph leading the way, the Warriors have a renewed sense of purpose, but the season is long and the challenges are many. Now it's time to see if their passion and leadership can carry them all the way. Stephen A. predicted the end of the Warriors dynasty, but Draymond Green and Steph Curry have other plans. They've built a legacy on defying expectations, and this season is about more than just winning, it's about cementing their place in history. The road ahead is tough, but Draymond's fire and Steph's leadership have carried them before, and they're ready to do it again. Their mission is clear: prove the doubters wrong and solidify their legacy as champions no matter what stands in their way.